What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Kristen Novak here, and today I got another do's and don'ts episode for you guys. We're gonna do the lat pull down. Cue that intro. Alright, lat pull downs. I'm gonna discuss this in a context where you are trying to actually engage your lats. There are a lot of people who try to lift super heavy for this exercise and they make a lot of mistakes if their primary goal is to engage their lats. If their goal is to actually just ego lift and lift as heavy as they can, then by all means keep doing what you're doing and ignore this video. But if you're looking to grow your lats, then I highly recommend that you pay attention to this video. I have implemented all of these tips and tricks over the last year, and I'm actually going to overlay a transformation photo that I noticed last night. So take a look at this. As you'll see on the photo on the, I don't know, I'll probably put it right here. I had pretty good back definition. This is probably about 6 years of lifting, and I made all of the mistakes that I'm going to discuss in today's video. Now, as you'll see right here, this photo was taken last night. Comparing the two photos, I actually have lats this year. The difference is the changes that I have made to my form and technique, which I'm going to discuss in this video. So that is only 1 year difference when it comes to growing my lats. So I'm actually quite impressed with this, and I definitely do believe it is from implementing these tips and tricks that I'm about to give you, and by fixing my form and not prioritizing ego lifting. Let's talk about some of the don'ts. Some of the biggest mistakes that I still see when people are doing lat pull downs are as follows. Number one, people swinging uncontrollably. Again, if you are looking to PR and lift super heavy, then by all means, you gotta swing, you gotta put momentum into it. But by doing this much momentum in my demo video here, you are actually hurting yourself more. You aren't doing yourself any good, and you're actually losing activation in your lats. Research has actually shown that if you prioritize mind muscle connection over swinging uncontrollably like this, you are more likely to engage your lats more, therefore leading to more hypertrophic responses. Another mistake I see is people taking too wide of a grip. So the reason why people want to take a wide grip is they think that it's going to engage their lats much more, and it does help you, give you that momentum when you are doing an uncontrollable swing. But actually there has been research to suggest that a more narrow pronated grip versus an underhand grip will actually ensure that you are engaging your lats quite a bit more than the wide grip. So I know that seems counterproductive considering a wide grip. It looks like you might be activating your lats a lot more, but there actually has been EMG tests done to show that the majority of people actually get greater activation from a more narrow grip versus a wider grip. Now, it is important to put in variations. There's a bunch of different muscle fibers in your back, so it is very good to actually do different variations to ensure that you're hitting all those muscle fibers. But if your primary goal is to grow your lats, then I highly recommend you prioritize an overhand narrow grip lat pull down versus behind the head and even an underhand grip. Behind the head, you're actually going to be targeting more of your mid back versus your lats, and with an underhand grip, you're going to be targeting your biceps a lot more than your actual lats. All right, let's discuss the do's. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that, again, you are not uncontrollably swinging. So when you're at the top of the concentric, you want to actually retract your scapula before you actually pull the bar down towards your chin. So by retracting your scapula, basically what you want to do is pretend that you are breaking the bar in half. And what that's going to do is when you break the bar in half, it's going to put your scapula, so if you watch my elbows here, put your scapula into place. So when your bar is up like this, before you pull down like this, retract your scapula and then pull down. What that's going to do, it's just going to put your lats into place for optimal activation. So a couple other things to keep in mind is to keep a slight arch in your back. You don't want to have too big of an arch that some people tend to have when they do the uncontrollable swing, but by keeping a slight arch in your back, it is going to allow you to activate your lats most optimally. Now, you don't want to be completely stiff when you're doing the lat pull down. Research has shown that a slight bit of momentum does allow you to activate your lats that much more. So it's totally okay to have a little bit momentum. You just don't want to be uncontrolling it to the point where your butt's coming off of the seat. But by a slight momentum, so where your head comes forward at the top and then you bring it back and you kind of bend back a little bit when the bar comes down towards your chin, and then when you go back up, coming forward. So a slight amount of momentum is totally okay. In fact, it's actually encouraged. Next, you want to make sure that when you bring the bar down, you stop at your chin. I see a lot of people, women in particular, who aren't 100% sure how to do this exercise, where they will bring the bar down towards like their chest, and that's just not the proper range of motion, and you are actually no longer retracting your scapula when you bring the bar that far down, because what's going to happen is your shoulders are going to roll forward because it's going to try to compensate for the increased range of motion that's not necessary. It could actually lead to injury, especially as you start going up in weight. So make sure you just keep that tension on your back and stop at your chin. And when you stop at your chin, you kind of want to make sure that your forearms are in the same position as you would do for an overhead press. So remember, overhead press we discussed last week. Make sure you guys check it out if you guys haven't seen it yet. It's a very good tutorial. So when you're in an overhead press starting position, the bar is just below your chin. Your wrists are nice and straight. They're not rolled back. And your forearms are directly below the bar. So same thing with the lat pull down. When you pull it down towards your chin, you want to make sure that your forearms are perpendicular to the ground. They're directly below the bar, and your wrists are nice and neutral. They're not rolling back at all. So that's about it when it comes to lat pull downs. Another quick tip that I wanted to provide you if you are trying to grow your lats is to make sure you do a pre-activation set. You can do this with either the lat pull down exercise, the same exercise here, or what I like to do is a single arm pull in. So you can do that with the lat pull downs if you have two pulleys and then you just have the single arm. So you pull in and then just try to really focus just on lighter weight and activating your lat right here. If you are struggling to activate your lats, because I know a lot of people do, just try to touch the muscle. So when I do my pre-activation set, I'll do maybe 1 to 2 sets. When you're doing the pull in, just touch the area and it'll really help you focus on actually activating the lats. So doing a pre-activation set is a really good technique in order to allow you to activate your lats when you were doing the lat pull down exercise. So that's it, you guys. That's all I got for you today. I hope you found this helpful. I highly recommend that you implement these tips if you are looking to grow your lats. Like I said in my progress pictures right here, I am completely shocked with how much I was able to grow my lats in just 1 year. So always prioritize your form, you guys, versus ego lifting. I can't stress that enough. Form and technique trumps how much you can lift every time. All right, you guys, so hope you found this helpful. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this video, and I'll see you in the next one.